How's it going, y'all? And may the 4th be with you. I'm making this video because I was asked by a Punk with Toys and Alice and Troy Retro Toy Princess to make a video for their May the 4th celebration, which is we go back and do some reviews of some older Star Wars figures, and the subject this year is prequels. So I told them I would do Ki-Adi-Mundi, and if you don't know anything about Ki-Adi-Mundi, he's kind of a jerk. In the Clone Wars, he's just like one of the most hard-headed, very unsympathetic, very unempathetic to the clones. And then, of course, in episode 1, he's like, oh, this has been good for millennia. So, you know, he's just kind of that guy that just, like, believes everything the Jedi says and has, like, oh, our ends justify the means kind of guy. So not my favorite character, but he's a cool-looking guy, and we have the Black Series one that we got recently. So I was like, I will grab Ki-Adi-Mundi. I will go out of the box. I won't do Jar Jar. I won't do Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon or anything like that. I'll do Ki-Adi-Mundi. So yeah, with all that being said, may the 4th be with you, although this is the 7th. And let's get right into it.
Listen, the explosive words and sounds of the Star Wars Comtech system. Imagine yourself in the movie.
I sense a disturbance in the Force. May the Force be with you. You, your instincts. You will be a Jedi, I promise. You have been well trained.
You haven't experienced Star Wars until you've experienced Comtech. Figures come with chips, readers sold separately, batteries not included. It's your universe.
Taking a look at the front of the card back here, you can see it says Star Wars Episode 1, New Figures Talk with the Comtech chip. And I did back in the day because I was around when these first came out. I did have the com chip reader, but I do not have it anymore. And down there at the bottom it says Ki-Adi-Mundi with lightsaber, and of course Hasbro down there at the bottom because they've been making Star Wars stuff since they bought Kenner. On the back, wow, it really does bring me back. I remember grabbing some of these figures. I definitely had Obi-Wan in the pit droid, and I don't think I had Pop. But we do get a blurb and of course the rundown. So let's go over this. At the top, it says Ki-Adi-Mundi. As part of the 12-member Jedi Council gathered on Coruscant at the Temple of Jedi, a Ki-Adi-Mundi must help make any fateful decision as the Council is called upon to consider the invasion of Naboo and the future of young Anakin Skywalker. Ki-Adi-Mundi's comm chip lines are, "Impossible! The Sith have been extinct for a millennium! I sense he will reveal himself again. The Force is strong with him." And then it says Star Wars Episode 1, a generation before Star Wars A New Hope, in a galaxy far, far away, an evil force is gaining strength and threatens an entire civilization. Two courageous Jedi, a young queen, a Gungan outcast, and a slave boy named Anakin band together to save a planet under attack as the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance. Electronic Comtech reader, communication output memory module. Star Wars action figures will never be the same. New Star Wars Episode 1 figures have the ability to speak. The Comtech chip that comes with each figure and the Comtech reader sold separately give you the power simply to touch each figure's Comtech chip to the Comtech reader to hear your figures speak. Some will even talk with other figures. Now the Force is with you. And then of course we get the other figures in the wave: Boss Nass, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Chancellor Valorum, Mace Windu, and Gasgano with pit droids. So yeah, and then we have 10 Jedi Master points down there at the bottom. And with all of that being said, this dude definitely takes the W for one of the most unlikable Jedi if you watch the Clone Wars, and just how egotistical he is in Episode 1. The Sith have been dead for millennia. They're not around. Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure, you old conehead. Ki-Adi-Dundi. Ki-Adi-Dundi. That's not an oif. The cool thing about these card backs is they're so old that you can, the glue is generally just coming off, so you can kind of lift it up and take them out. So there is our 3.75-inch Ki-Adi-Mundi from Star Wars Episode 1. May the 4th be with you. I know this isn't coming out on the 4th, it's coming out on the 7th, but regardless, this is for Star Wars month, and may the 4th be with you. Alright, so here is our wee little Ki-Adi-Mundi figure out of the box, out of the cardboard. Doesn't really want to focus on him because he's so small. Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. Now we got the focus on him. Like I said, he's very small, but all the paint apps are there. We've got the lighter brown boots coming up to his brown tunic with the brown belt. Lots of browns on the Jedi. And if you'll notice, his lightsaber is purple, and that's because in Episode 1, a lot of the figures, like these Jedi didn't show their lightsabers, but a lot of the figures came with lightsabers, and some of them came with purple, some of them came with blue, and some of them came with green. And then Samuel L. Jackson, when Attack of the Clones came out, was like, I want to be the only one with purple. And George Lucas was like, I think we can make that happen. So Ki-Adi-Mundi no longer had a purple lightsaber. And really, he never did, because this is just a figure that they did. Like, here, we don't know what their lightsabers look like, but we're going to give it to a purple one to Ki-Adi-Mundi. So, he has a purple lightsaber in this figure, but in the movies and the Clone Wars, his lightsaber is blue. The GD lightsaber is blue. Liar, liar reference there. But for how old this figure is, the details on him are very nice. Like, I'm going to... Oops. I knocked him over because he's very small. Like you can see, that paint on the face is wonderful. They did a great job with that. It does not look terrible at all. So, really no issues with this guy other than him being old and not fitting into my scale. Like, that paint app on his face, I feel like would pass for the vintage collection nowadays, because that is pretty dang good. I'm really surprised at that. But yeah. We have our Ki-Adi-Mundi for Alice in Retro Toy Princess and a Punk with Toys Star Wars month, May the 4th thing that they started last year, I believe. So that is why we're doing this Ki-Adi-Mundi. I'll probably have already said that in the intro and all that stuff, but that is why we're doing this old retro review of this Ki-Adi-Mundi figure. Checking out his height, he's just a wee little guy, so he ain't gonna be very tall. He is about 4 inches to the top of his little pointy head. So nothing crazy there. Oh boy, the articulation's gonna be crazy, right? So his head, does it move? Yeah, his head moves. So we get head swivel, we get full rotation on the arms, we get a cut at the waist, and then we get back and forward on the legs. And that is it, because these are from 2001, or 1999, 2000, and they did not articulate like figures do now. Even the vintage collection are very much more articulated, but he still looks good. I feel like you could put him in there with vintage collection if you really wanted to. All right, the first accessory, which I haven't taken out yet, is this comm chip. And if you're old like me, you'll remember having the comm chip reader as a kid, and you had the batteries in, and you just swipe that over it, and they would say lines from the movie. So we get that with Ki-Adi-Mundi, and then he gets his purple lightsaber, and that is it, because this is an old Star Wars figure, and even back then with Hasbro. Well, you know, they didn't really have the adult collector's market. They just assumed that adults would buy this and add it to their old Star Wars stuff. So they didn't really think about accessories and all that stuff back then. It was just Jedi, lightsaber, comm chip, we're good to go. So normally there'd be like not humongous, but there'd be more than one comparison. But I really think in this instance, the best comparison to do is to the new Black Series figure, because it's the newest Ki-Adi-Mundi figure that we've gotten. And of course, the general look is there for both of them. They've both got that drawn over tunic over the lower robe. They've got the lighter boots. They got the leather looking robes. And of course, they got the pointy head. Very nice paint on this. Very nice paint on this as well. Wants to focus on Rhea there. No, focus on Ki-Adi-Mundi. Of course, we got all the texture detail and all that stuff on a Black Series figure, because of course it's much bigger and you can get those pants and the robe textures and all that stuff. Not so much with this guy, although we do have the folds and all that stuff sculpted in there, which is nice. And there's a little bit of just different texture on the inside and the leather to like change it up. So I can't say that much is different other than the size and the articulation and the lightsaber color. There's a lot of things that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And for Ki-Adi-Mundi, his character design has always been the same, so they didn't really need to tweak anything. They just kind of blew it up and added joints, and now us adult collectors can enjoy the figures that we had as kids, although now much more adult sized for us, because even as a kid those were small, but especially now, like, come on, this is, you know. So yeah, definitely check out A Punk with Toys, Retro Toy Princess. Everyone else that's going to be doing this, I'm just going to do an intro. I'm not going to do my outro. I'm going to do my outro here so we can talk about the figure and just look at it. So if you like this little retro review, of course hit like, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. If this is your first time here, pretty please. If you're not a channel member, it's only 99 cents for extra reviews, extra live streams, extra goodies for all of y'all once a month. 99 cents gets you a bunch of great stuff. We're doing some giveaways on the channel once we hit certain benchmarks for subscriptions, so please make sure you subscribe. Check out the giveaways, all that good stuff. Check out the other channels. I said there are going to be more videos like this throughout the month with more Star Wars stuff, so if you want to see a list, I would say go check out A Punk with Toys or Allison Retro Toy Princess, because they're Allison Troy Retro Toy Princess, because they're the ones running this whole shebang. So I'm putting my video up when they told me to, and that's how it is. So yeah, do all that stuff. Keep your head up, stay brave, be kind to your local LGBTQ community. I love you. I will see you next time, and bye-bye.
Galaxy's most legendary heroes, fearsome villains, and coolest vehicles. Now available to take home and play with at Pizza Hut, KFC, and Taco Bell. Right now, at participating Taco Bell locations, you can get one of these cool Star Wars Episode 1 collectible toys, one in every Taco Bell kids meal you buy.